catch me in my feelings, but he don't know that I'm the though. Shout out to my that can get it independent and ain't looking for no love though. He trying to catch me in my feelings, but he don't know that I'm the though. He trying to stunt and give me drinks. I got the bottles in the section and I promise the bass.
Everybody, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. We've got a good division rivalry coming up here in the AFC, and these two teams have met once already, so they are more than familiar with one another's tendencies, and maybe more importantly, their weaknesses. It's the Chiefs going up against the Raiders. With that, we'll get you out to Oakland, so we'll hand it over to our colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, after an off-season of questions, football is back here in the East Bay at Oakland, California. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They go play action here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The intended target was Corey Coleman. That'll bring up second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So 2nd and 10 here. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And we take a look now at the defense for the Raiders.
Aldon Smith had an absolute off-the-charts rookie season and continues to be one of the best playmakers at outside linebacker.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
Shift together here from the D-line. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got his man on the comebacker. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. Now he's hit and totally lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. One receiver to the left is Cooper. Carr now on first down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On first down, Carr wants a screen pass. That's complete. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Offensive starters here, Marcel Reese, a force to be reckoned with.
We always talk about giving love to offensive linemen. How about the guys that the position's almost extinct? Fullbacks. Marcel Reese can do it all. Can block, can catch, and then after the catch, he can turn it upfield.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Second down, Dalton. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. They come out here in the eye. Dalton's going to sneak it. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. So a designed run last play. Now Dalton to pass. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
In motion, Hill. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
The first down throw coming for Dalton. Caught left side, Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Now they'll run it on the taunts. And he'll cut it to the left. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Carr going to give to Olawale. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. On 1st down, Murray. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, but they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
And his throw is incomplete. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Carr. He's got time in the pocket. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he's brought down after a good game. These guys told us, these guys being the coaches, they wanted to really stretch the field, get the ball down deep. They were able to do that here.
And you know when you stretch the field, you often leave guys in one-on-one situations. And that allows your better athletes to go up and get the football. I love the preparation that they put into this. They made it a priority, and they got what they expected.
2nd down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. This is Reese on the ground. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than 1 tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he finds Stills, complete. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the...
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Latavius Murray with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Travis Coons now to add the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage?
And the Raiders have got him. Mario Edwards breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Play action now. Dalton. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Andy Dalton. He's going to air one out. And that one incomplete. Had some position, but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for Oakland. 46 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Murray the lone setback. Time to step aside. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. One receiver to the left is Cooper. On 1st down, Carr. And this is incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Well, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on 1st down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on 1st down.
A couple of Chiefs there to bring him down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, You're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 2nd down, here's Carr. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now they'll run. Murray. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Latavius Murray as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. As the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Going deep here for Stills. And incomplete on the deep ball. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the 1st half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Throwing on first down is Carr. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass. And sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that. That's why they were able to get to him on it.
And he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down. And the Chiefs showing a dime look as they defend this third down. They come up in an offset eye. They'll turn to the power game at Olawale. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Football is such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you think, yeah, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down. Every quarterback likes having a reliable target at tight end, and I think young quarterbacks especially, because they want to get the ball in their hands quickly. I think these two, Derek Carr and Clive Walford, that's a pretty good connection for years to come for Oakland.
Yeah, he started to come on strong end of his rookie year. Now the Raiders really hoping for that second-year jump out of Walford.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They go with Murray again. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Another pistol look here. Here's Carr. On the left side, this is Stills. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Brought in by Walford, right side. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a second down.
Now, coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on third down.
Pass situation.
Carr going to try and throw on third down. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Clive Walford, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works. to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. A look at the offense now here coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Backing up, going for the deep ball. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now Carr. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Eric Armstead in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Watch tight. Tight end right. All right, here we go.
Now Carr throwing on second down. Smith catches left side. And he's brought down after a good gain. He got 29 yards that time. Really nice little connection there. They go with the corner route, and it works out well.
And the best way to set up the corner route is to throw slants throughout the ball game so that when you're able to get back outside, the defender has to respect the inside game.
Over the middle, Cooper with it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Carr to throw on second down. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Clive Walford with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And he's got it up and through. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Dalton, 1st and 10. He's going to go for a big play downfield and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. As they run the counter play. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. And quickly, they get to the line. Dalton bootlegs out. And it's complete to Kelsey. And give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. 15 yards through the air on a 1st down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. That is caught. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard. They trail as we start quarter number 4. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. Looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Will the defense dial up the pressure? Let's see. 3rd and 11. Throwing his car on 3rd down. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
We ready? Set at the 8. Wide at the 8. Set.
Carr keeps it on the sneak. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
It seems like, and it is a gamble on their side of the field, but they have supreme confidence in picking it up on a quarterback sneak. You can just feel it from this team.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. A group of Chiefs there to make the stop that time. Second down following the run. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. On second down, here's Carr. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down. Three yards left to grab here on third down. One receiver to the left is Cooper. Carr going to try and throw on third down. Looking here for Smith downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Torrey Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Now Coons on to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will get out of bounds. No worries there, though. That still goes as a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just... And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now a handoff as they run left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards there on the pickup. And that'll be good for a KC first down.
Now that run is one to build on. And I know it sounds like a cliche and it seems like a simple thing. But truthfully, coaches are always looking for something to pull out of a tough day. And right now, this team has had one of those. So that run there, I guarantee that's a clip and save as they move forward and look towards the next game. And he'll tell his team, this is what we're looking for. This is what we planned for. Let's have more of this to start games as opposed to getting it at the end.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And, boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. It's Hill, complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And they're going to speed things up here. A first down throw coming for Dalton. They complete it to Hill. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Second down now after the pass completion. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From midfield here, Dalton. Coleman has it here right side. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones up to the...
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the safety, Reggie Nelson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
We ready? Wide at the 8.
Again, it's Murray, and he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it third down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure.
Latavius Murray, he's at the 50. He's at the 30, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Latavius Murray, his third touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Coons now here to tack on the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Come the Chiefs now, and with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Now they try the right side here. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
A strong running. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Stays on his feet. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
Well, partner, they might want to tear up their scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. Third down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it, and they ran it really well and picked up a first down. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. And now to the air, Dalton. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Dalton, 1st and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former Super Bowl MVP Malcolm Smith. And this one will be brought back to the 22. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just 1 kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, Charles, I don't know what you want to call this, a blowout, a laugh, or whatever it is. This was not a game.
And I believe that you saw this coming early, identified it right in the beginning of the game, and it played out that way.
Well, and it did, and for this team, just a lot of confidence coming away from this one.
Confidence for them. For the other team, though, boy, what a dismal, dismal day.
So for the Raiders, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Baltimore Ravens next week. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they fall to defeat for the 2nd time this season. And they'll get a home date next week against the San Diego Chargers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Black Hole